Hello and welcome to IM2 Functions, Unit 4. We're going to be talking about positive and negative intervals in this small lesson. Um, so positive intervals and negative intervals, well, that's going to refer to the y values. So it's going to be it's going to be the positive and negative intervals where x values where y is positive. Positive or negative. That means, well, what does that mean? Where is this graph going to be positive? Where are the y values on this graph positive? Well, the area where this graph is positive is right here at the x-axis. The y value starts to become positive right here between 3 and 5 will be x value. So up here above the x-axis is going to be positive above the x-axis. And the negative values are when the y values are all going to be negative are when the graph is below. This is above the x-axis, and this is below the x-axis. So negative intervals are going to be when the graph is below the x-axis. And at the x-axis is going to give us some points of change. It actually changes from positive to negative right there. We're not making a little arrow. It's going to be negative here. This is negative. And up here is going to be positive. And it changes to positive up here. And it goes back down from this point of change. This is going to be the point of change. Is going to be located right on the x-axis. And this is going to be never included, not included. The point of change, because not included because the y value is equal to 0 at that point. It is neither positive nor negative at these particular two x values. So let's talk about first of all, the negative. It starts out negative, and the graph is going to be negative over here. And where does this go to as far as your x movement? It starts up right here, so it's going to be negative infinity. Always read from left to right. So it starts out here from negative infinity, and it marches along, and it's going to be negative, 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 and then it stops right here at 3. This point of change is going to be x equals to 3. X is equal to 3. And then it marches in positive all the way from there to over here, where this is going to be x is equal to, what is it, 5. X is equal to 5. Okay, this point of change will be x is equal to 5. It's a little bit different than the increasing and decreasing. The interval, the points of change are going to be where the graph crosses the x-axis. So where is this graph actually going to be positive? Well, or negative. Let's start out with negative. It's just going to be negative down here, and it's just coming up right here. It's coming up, and it's becoming, the y values are getting lower or higher and higher and higher and higher and higher until it reaches this point, x is equal to 3 right here. So it's going to be negative from negative infinity until it reaches comma 3. The x value is 3. Negative infinity is never included, so we're going to give it a round bracket, and 3 is a point of change, which is not included, so it's also going to get a round bracket. Then the graph goes up into the positive section above the x-axis. This whole area up here, any place that the graph goes into the up here and down until it reaches this new point of change, 5. So it's going to be positive from 3 to 5. And both of these are points of change, and so they are going to get round brackets. They are not included. Then it marches down and it goes back into the negative territory again. Here, this is negative down here. And where is it negative? Well, it's going to start out here from 5 to all the way to positive infinity. And these are both, from 5 is going to be a point of change, so it gets a round bracket, and positive infinity is never included, so it also gets a round bracket. We could put a little comma in between those two intervals of negativity. The x-intercept is located at x is equal to, what is that, 3, and also 5. Those are going to be our x-intercepts, and we do not have a y-intercept. We actually do, but I cannot tell from this graph. Okay? Because it's asking us for the x-intercept and the y-intercepts. Okay, let's move on to the next example. It looks like example 1, but B, C, and D, we have some other, we have a parabola. The first example right here is a graph of parabola. And this graph is almost completely and utterly going to be completely right up here in the positive. This is above the x-axis, and above the x-axis is positive. So it's going to be all the way from negative infinity to, and it comes down here to this, where it reaches the x-intercept. This is the point of change. Point of change. This is going to be, let's say, up completely through 0. Okie dokie. And this, so it is going to be positive all the way from negative infinity to 0. Now, the negative infinity is never included, so it's a round bracket, and it is all square area around the whole thing. But then it does change right here at 0. There is a point of change. The place where it touches the x-axis, or is on the x-axis, it is not positive and it is not negative. So we are not going to include 0 in this case. Then we're going to have another interval of positivity from 0 all the way to positive infinity in this case. So this thing is almost all positive, except that positive infinity to 0 is that point right here, that x is equal to 0. That is not included in the interval of positive or negative negativity. We have no intervals of negative, so none. This graph doesn't ever go into negative below the x-axis boundary over here. Okay? The x-intercept is 0, and the y-intercept is also 0. That's pretty cool. All right, now let's talk about this next one. This is an absolute value graph. It's been inverted by a negative a, but it's pretty easy to see. Above the x-axis is going to be positive. So this is positive. This is going to be positive, and below is going to be negative. So we're talking about the x-intervals for when this thing is positive. Well, in this case, we have this starting point. This has a dot, and so this is going to be the start. And this is not going to come from negative infinity. It starts right here on this dot. So it's going to be, and this is located in the positive part of the graph. So this part of the graph right here, this piece from, and it looks like negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 5, from negative 5 all the way to, and it reaches the x-axis here, right here, at, this is the point of change at x is equal to 1. POC was that x is equal to 1. So it's going to be 1. Now the point of change is not included. It's going to get a round bracket. But this full dot here on the left at negative 5, well, that has a full dot, and full dots are included. So from negative 5 to 1, the graph is positive. It's in the positive above the x-axis part of the graph, all the way from negative 5 to positive 1. Then it goes down into the negative quadrant. So this is below, and this is negative. All this area right here is negative. And this is going to go all the way to positive infinity. It's got an arrow that shows that it keeps on going to the right. So it's going to be negative from 1 to positive infinity. And positive infinity is not included, so it's going to get a round bracket. And the point of change is also not included, so it's going to also get a round bracket. It looks like we have an x-intercept at 1, and we have a y-intercept also at 1. And those are our only intercepts. Okay? Well, now let's move on to this third example and our last example. Positive. Where is this graph positive? Well, where are our points of change would be good to know. I have one POC right here. This is point of change, and what is this? This is x equals negative 1. Okay, so x is equal to negative 1. Then we have another point of change right here, and this is POC. X is equal to, what is that? That looks like 1, also positive 1. And then there's a third point of change, so we're going to have quite a few little intervals here to write. And this is a POC of x is equal to, looks like 3. Okay? And now all we need to do is know where the graph is above and or below the x-axis. Well, it starts out negative here, and the x value here is this is going to be a start. This is our start. Reading it from left to right, just like we're supposed to. X is equal to, and it looks like negative 2. So our x value is negative 2 from here. And we are in the negative quadrant. So it's going to be negative 2 all the way until our x value of negative 1. Since this is a point of change, it's going to receive negative 1. It's going to get a round bracket, but x is equal to negative 2 is going to get a square bracket because it has a full dot. Then the graph marches into the positive above the x-axis area. So, well, where is this? So from negative 1, it continues along to the next x-intercept of 1. So it's positive from negative 1 to 1. This is in the positive. So it's going to be from negative 1 to positive 1. And both of these are points of change, so they'll get round brackets. Then the graph goes back down here into the negative. So from 1 all the way to 3, it's negative. So we're making another interval from 1 to 3. And they'll both get round brackets because those are points of change. Then it goes up into the positive section again. From 3 all the way to, this is the end. And the end looks like it has a full dot. And it's an x value of x is equal to 4. If I can get that to right in there. Looks like x is equal to 4. So it's positive from 3 to 4. So we make another interval from 3 to 4. And the 3 is an open, there's a point of change. So points of change don't get the square bracket, they get the round bracket. But the 4 here has a full dot, and so that's going to get a square bracket. And that is our positive and negative intervals. We have x-intercepts at negative 1. We have another one at 1. And then we have another one here at 3. It looks like we have one y-intercept right here at 1, 2, 3, y equals 3.
And that is it for positive and negative intervals. I hope this video finds you well.